Hey everyone, hope you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis updated commodities, work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it together. And if you have any questions, you can definitely check out finding-value.com. You can see the coupon code over here if you'd like to join, and it works on both the monthly and yearly memberships. All right, let's dive in, take a look, see what is going on today. Starting with the dollar, um, we've got good strength today in the dollar, up 0.6%, looking like it's firming up. We can try to throw in kind of a falling type wedge deal going on here that could potentially be going on here in the dollar if we kind of roll it like this. We'll see if we can break through here or not. But we are squeezing up on a falling wedge, potentially could break to the upside. And the reason I'm biased to the upside is those stronger yields that we are seeing across the board, 2-year, 10-year, and 30-year. So the dollar is strengthening here, at least in the short term, these past few trading days. This could be a falling wedge that we are squeezing up into a corner. We could see a potential break higher with me kind of having that bias with stronger yields. 2 years up a little bit. We are moving on up the past few days with yields here, and we're going to come up real soon to a trend line that's also squeezing into a corner. So we're starting to see kind of confluence of the dollar squeezing, the 2 year squeezing, the 2 and 10 is squeezing into these corners here. And with the recent action that I'm seeing in the markets, this does look like it wants to try to break higher. And I've got that pointed out here from um, previous updates. The 10-year yield up 0.8%. We're sitting on top of a pattern. That's where I get my upward arrow. And this still looks good to go higher. And we're starting to eclipse through the upper trend line, downtrend line to the upside. Now, this is a downward facing pattern. Those generally break higher. The 30-year yield also breaking its downtrend line to the upside, this pattern. And I've got my upward arrow from previous updates stating that this looks good to break higher. So yields across the board look good for potential moves up. And that may be different than what other people are suggesting, a recession with declining yields. That's not what we're seeing in the charts. Charts are saying higher yields. TLT bond prices, when you break higher in yields, bond prices go down, and this is a inverted flag pattern that's breaking to the downside. Longer term, momentum is down still. We've got the 2 and the 10. The 2 and the 10 is breaking lower today. The curve is uninverting a little bit. Momentum is still to the upside. We're at kind of this area where there's a lot of resistance. We've got resistance going horizontal. We've got resistance going across. There's the chart there. It's a falling wedge. These generally break higher to the upside, but today we were down a little bit. TYX TNX ratio up just slightly, 0.33%. I've got this kind of upward facing wedge channel going on, but that usually is supportive of gold going higher. But we didn't get the tailwind from the dollar. The dollar was up quite substantially. That's a headwind for gold. And yields were up as well. So gold is kind of in the cross front of going in either direction. So gold moving sideways. We are still consolidating sideways here. I think that this has a good chance of breaking higher. Usually what you see are higher lows. That's what the bottom trend line is indicating. And then you run into resistance, which is the top trend line. Eventually, this will break higher is my guess as we break through that resistance. So this here is your consolidation. This here is your trend going up. And your resistance is what we are hitting. Silver down 0.5%. We had that nice strong dollar today. We are still sitting on top of all of this support. I still view this as a move higher and that the trend is not broken to the upside. Platinum's also trending higher. We are getting some resistance recently. You can see the big red candlesticks through here. We have been consolidating sideways instead of just launching up. But I do think that we still are trending higher lows, higher highs, and we've broken out from a massive pattern to the upside. Palladium down 2.88%. We're still in an uptrend here. We're getting a little bit of selling pressure just past couple of days. The trend is still up. We are entering a little bit of resistance through here, and it still looks good to potentially work its way on up. XAU to gold ratio, we are up 0.73%, so we're seeing positioning in the equities versus the underlying metals themselves. We are coming from what I consider to be ludicrously low valuations for gold and silver mining companies in relationship to gold. Up and away. That's what I think is going to happen. Look for strength, which we're seeing in the mining companies in relationship to the metal itself. That means people are positioning in it. That's what this is. So if we start to get a big move higher, it's people positioning in the equities more so than the metals. So GDX is up 0.5%, looking really good. To move higher, we've got GDXJ up 0.83, and again, looks good to go higher. All these are downward facing patterns. I don't see any problems here. SILJ is up 2.19. That's sitting on top of a pattern. This looks ready to rip. To rip. Yes, I said rip. Now, we are in this pattern here. We are wanting to break and use this as a launch pad. I think it will do that. Remember, silver is sitting on top of its big old pattern, trying to break through that 35-ish plus resistance level. When we start to break these resistance areas above us, it's going to let go, and we're going to, I think, see a big breakout in SILJ. Crude oil is up 1.4%. That's looking pretty good from a charting perspective. We're putting in a nice big bullish engulfing today. We are still underneath some important resistance, which is this trend line up on top of us. I'd really like to clear through some of this area here. It might take some time, not stating it will happen immediately. So patience here. We've got a really good setup. We've got a nice pattern, which is generally at the bottom of wave 2. And we're trying to break out here. I'd say over the next 6 months or something like that, we could see a big move. TTF gas chopping sideways. We are still basing out. This is a base here, this whole thing. So we're still basing out. We've got natural gas in America still underneath resistance, the blue trend line here. We haven't broken through that yet. And we've been trending a little bit lower in the short term as we've broken through a little bit of a pattern to the downside. Upward facing pattern, those are generally bearish in the short term. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, down 1.1%. We are following the way that it fell. It fell over here. I flipped it over, and that's the fractal that we've got over here. You can see it. This is just overlaid on top, and I think it's going to do something very similar. So maybe I got January 2026 where we break out of this pattern here, this inverted shoulder, head, shoulder. I think that works out pretty well. I think that's probably going to be the best case, or base case, I should say. OIH, the energy service company, is down 1.32%. This still looks good. I don't see a ton of selling pressure outside of this day where everything sold off and Trump did that tweet, but it still looks good on this side. Not much selling pressure, good buying pressure coming up. I still think we're in an uptrend, trying to work our way higher. Newcastle coal futures down 1% with natural gas being flat to down. And I do think this is trying to work its way on up. We've got the base over here. The breakout is there. And then the retest, which I think will eventually turn higher with natural gas. Physical Uranium Trust doing the back test. So we've got a breakout here. There's the clean break higher. And now we're doing our back test. So it is back testing. Sometimes you don't know, but a lot of the times it does back test. and that's what we're going through right now in the short term. Uranium futures pricing down 3.23, and that's also down as well. And maybe it's going to fill this gap at $72 a pound. URA, the equities, and this is exactly what we want to see. We want to see if we see underlying weakness in the futures pricing, we want to see we want to see strength in the equities. We want people accumulating, and that's exactly what we're seeing. Looks pretty strong still, although we had a big down day in the futures pricing and Sprott Physical Uranium Trust. URNM is down 1.25, but again, that's pretty strong, and we're still seeing buying pressure with wicks at the bottom. So we are consolidating sideways with strength here. And then URNJ, it's down a little bit. We're underneath resistance. Again, I'm looking for a big breakout candlestick. That hasn't occurred yet. We're still at that resistance area. And I think at some point, whenever it goes, we'll get that big breakout. Nickel down. This thing is still leaking some sellers, and the buyers have not been able to overcome it yet, but it could at any time. That's why we're seeing a nice tight range, just trading sideways. Copper's down 2.25. We are on top of a lot of support. I do think that we're going to see a mega breakout here at some point where we just start ripping and going higher, higher, higher. So higher highs, higher lows. This is a consolidation, much like we're seeing with gold. So this goes all the way back down here. Maybe, yeah, I mean, not all the way back down, but hit it. We've consolidated up, and then we've broken to the upside, sitting on top of support. Looks good to go and continue higher. We're running into a little bit of resistance in the short term. COPX down 2.43%. Not a reversal candlestick or anything. The uptrend is still in place, and we're above a lot of support. Still looks good. Lithium getting some selling pressure, down 3.3%. Still above support, which is this trend line going across there. This guy here, this upper trend line, and we're sitting on top of it still, so it still looks good. REMX down 3%, but we're above the trend line. Still looks good. I know we're getting some selling pressure today. Some buyers were coming in. That's why we got a little wick at the bottom here, but just be patient. I still think we're heading higher. Iron ore up 0.26%. I like the way that this looks here. Big buying pressure, small selling pressure on the flag pattern. Looks good to go higher. We've been squeezing here for a long time. This whole thing here is a big squeeze. All that is. And once we break, it's going to be a big move. When that does break, we could still squeeze for a while here, so be patient. Aluminum's down 1.3, still underneath resistance. We haven't broken out yet. We've got Baltic Dry Index at support. We did a breakout retest. We're doing that retest right now. It was up 0.14%, right on top of that support level on the retest. Emerging markets down with the strong dollar. So anything that's very sensitive to interest rates or dollar is down today. So we were down in emerging markets. We were down in MU. MU's, I wouldn't say is that sensitive, but a lot of things were down today, so it traded lower today. It's not a reversal candlestick. It's just a down day. Carries down 1%. Momentum is still to the upside. Home builders are down 1.4, doing a retest on support. So that's what we're doing today, is a little bit of a retest. Russell 2000 down 1.55. We're still in an uptrend. SPX down 0.8, again, still in an uptrend and above support. Very close to all-time highs. NASDAQ down 1%, again, above support, still looking good. The transportation index above support, still looking good, just had a down day. Industrials are up, very close to all-time highs, just had a down day, nothing to worry about. Bitcoin's down very slightly, basically sideways, still sitting on top of everything. I still think we're going higher in Bitcoin. Ethereum down 1.82, still in a channel, and I still think this could potentially go higher. And that is based off of me looking at Bitcoin and seeing that it's sitting on top of its support structure. MicroStrategy's down 2%. Again, we're on top of the support. Still looks good to go higher. And then the VIX is up 1.77, a little bit of selling pressure today. It's underneath resistance, so we're still underneath that resistance, and it's underneath and is controlled. It's not going up out of control or anything like that. So most everything is still in control and looks pretty good from my perspective. Give me a thumb up for the content, subscribe to the channel, subscribe to the website if you'd like, special is the coupon code. We did a weekend meeting this weekend. It's all uploaded to the website if you guys want to view it. And that's all I've got for today. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.